Hello, my dear friends, whoever you are, wherever you are right now. I want you to know something before we even begin. You did not land on this video by accident. You were meant to hear what comings. Maybe you have been carrying something heavy lately, a feeling you can't name, a sadness that shows up at strange times, an age that does not quite have a story attached to it, or maybe a quite long anger that confuses you because nothing in your life seems bad enough to justify it. Take a breath with me, a real one, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Slowly, gently. There is no rush here. This is your space now, a small pocket of time where you do not have to perform, explain, or pretend it. You can just be exactly as you are, with everything you are feeling, even the messy part you don't have words for yet. Today, we are going to sit with something tender, something so many of us were never taught how to handle. We are going to talk about your feelings and not in the way the world usually talks about them, like they are problems to fix, weakness to hide, or storms to wait out. We are going to talk about them as something scared, something true, something worth listening to even when they don't make any sense at all. Now, before we begin to the topic, I want you to request something. You don't skip this video because it is very important for you to watch till the end. So let's begin. Because here's the thing the universe wants you to remember tonight, today, in this very moment. Your feelings are valid even if they don't make sense yet. Read that line again slowly. Let it sink past the surface of your mind and into the quiet place where you have been hiding the truth from yourself. Your feelings are valid even if they don't make sense. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt something, really felt it, and immediately tried to talk yourself out of it? Maybe a wave of sadness rolled over you on a perfectly normal Tuesday afternoon, and the first thing you did was think, what's wrong with me? I have no reason to be sad. I should be grateful. Maybe a flash of anger come up while you were just sitting in traffic and you scolded yourself. Calm down. It's not a big deal. You are overreacting. Maybe loneliness crept in while you were surrounded by people who love you and you felt ashamed, like something must be broken inside you. If you have ever done this, you are not alone. Most of us have been doing it our whole lives. We were taught silently, slowly, or sometimes harshly that some feelings are okay and others are not. that happiness is welcome but sadness is a burden, that confidence is admired but fear is shameful, that contentment is nature but anger is dangerous, that gratitude is holy but grief is something to get over. So we did what children do. We adapted, we hide the unwelcome feelings, we push them down into the basement of our heart and locked the door. We learn to smile. When we were breaking, we learn to say, I am fine, before we even know what fine means. And we believe a lie, the biggest, quietest lie of all. We believe that a feeling had to make sense before we were allowed to have it. But, beloved, listen closely. Feelings do not ask for the permission. They don't want wait for logical reasons. They don't show up with a neat little explanation attached. They arrive the way weather arrives, sometimes gentle, sometimes violent, sometimes gray, for days with no clear reason. And the moment you start demanding that your inner weather justify itself before you will accept it, you cut yourself off from your own soul. You don't ask the rain why it's falling before you let yourself get wet. You just notice it, you just acknowledge it, and ev- eventually you find your way home through it. Your feelings deserves the same grace. I want to tell you a small story, not a fairy tale, just something to help carry the truth. Imagine there's a house, it's your house, the inner one, the home you carry with you wherever you go. Inside this house, there are many rooms, there is a bright kitchen where joy, peace breathe. There's a sunlight room where laughter lives. There's a cozy library where peace reads quietly by the window. But there's also a hallway, and down at the end of that hallway, there's a door, and behind that door, you have been keeping the feelings you decided were are not allowed in the rest of the house. The grief that comes when no one acknowledges it, the anger you swallowed because being angry was not ladylike, or was not meanly, or was not godly, the fear you mocked yourself for, the longing you were embraced by, the disappointment you could did not admit because someone said you should just be grateful. Year after year, the pile behind that door grew, and every year you becomes more afraid of opening it because you started to believe what in there in monstrous. You started to believe that if you let those feelings out, they would destroy everything. So you tipped past the door, you played music to drown out the muffled sound, you told the visitor you only had a few rooms, and slowly, without realizing it, your own house, begging to feel smaller and smaller. Your joy felt thinner, your laughter felt rehearsed, your peace was always one incidental throw away from cracking. That's not because you become less. That's because a part of your soul was locked away, calling out, waiting to be welcomed back home. Spiritual guidance, real spiritual guidance, is not about adding more light to bright rooms. It's about walking down that hallway slowly, bravely, without a weapon, with nothing but a candle and a willingness to listen. When you finally turn the handle and let the door open, you will find what was waiting for you all along. Not monsters, not destructions, just younger, exhausted, unheard parts of yourself standing there, eyes full of tears, asking the same simple question they have been asking your whole life. Will you finally believe me? So here's something the modern world struggles with. We live in a time of obsessed with explanations. We want every feeling to come with a label, a cause, a diagnosis, a flexible solution. If we feel anxious, we want to know why. If we feel sad, we want to trace it to a single event. If we feel restless in a life that looks good paper on looks good on paper, we panic because there's no neat story to wrap around it. But the soul does not speak in spreadsheet. Sometimes a feeling rises in you because something happened today, but sometimes a feeling rises because something happened 25 years ago and your heart only just now feels safe enough to let it surface. Sometimes a feeling rises because you are standing on the edge of a chance you have not even consciously seen yet. Sometimes a feeling rises because you are absorbing the energy of someone close to you or the heaviness of the world or a memory of your body remembers even when your mind has forgotten. And sometimes this is the part of most people are not ready to hear. Sometimes a feeling rises because your soul is trying to tell you something it can't say with words, something that will only become clear in time, something that need to be felt before it can be understood. Have you ever had a strange unease about a person, place, a decision, and only months or years later realize your gut was right all along? Have you ever tried at a song without knowing why, only to discover later that it was unlocking something you you had not been ready to face? Have you ever felt joy in a quiet moment that had no logical reason at all? Just sunlight on a wall and the hum of a kitchen, a stranger's smiles, and know somehow that people were touching something cool. Those feelings did not make sense in the moment, but they were real, they were valid, they were the soul speaking in its first language, which is feeling long before it becomes true. So when you feel something you can't explain, please don't shame yourself for it. Don't demand your own heart and over its paper and prove its rights exist. The feeling itself is the proof, the fact that something inside you is moving, and that's the message. Understanding will come later if it comes at all, but the validity that's already there, it was there for the very first heartbeat. There's something I want you to gently understand. Your body is not separate from your feeling. Your body is the keeper of every feeling you ever buried. When you push a feeling down, it does not disappear. It moves into a shoulder that won't relax. The jaw that won't unclench is too much that not up before situation you can't even conscious identify the chest that tightness when the phone rings a certain way, the breath that becomes swallowed without warning. This is not a weakness. This is the body's love language. The body is loyally holding what your mind could not hold. It means waiting patiently for the day you don't finally come back and ask, what have you been caring for me, my friend? In so many spiritual traditions across the world, on yogic teaching of integrated wisdom of every religion, there is a shared knowing that feelings lives in the body. The body is scared. It is not a thing to be conquered. It's a template. And every sensation in it's the kind of prayer trying to be here. So tonight or tomorrow or whatever you are ready, try this. Place your hand somewhere on your body that has been carrying tension. Maybe your chest, maybe your stomach, maybe the place where your shoulder meets your neck, and just speak to it silently, softly, like you don't speak to children who's waiting up all night for someone to come home. Say, I see you. I know you have been holding something. I am here. You don't have to do this alone anymore. Don't expect fireworks. Don't expect the feeling to suddenly explain itself in clear sentence. Healing really works that the way, but just notice. If something in you softens, even a little, that soften, that your soul whispering, thank you for finally listening. Here is a teaching that has changed countless lives, and I hope it touches you the way it has touched so many before you. It is the deepest spiritual tradition. Emotion are not seen as obstacle on the path; they are the path. Read that again. Emotions are not obstacle; they are the paths. The world tells you to rise above your feelings, transcend them, to not let them control. And there's a kernel of wisdom in that. We don't want to toss around like leaves in the wind, but somewhere along the way, that wisdom got twisted into something real. It becomes ignore your feelings, judge your feelings, shame your feelings, push them away, pretend you are above them. But spiritual maturity is not the absence of feeling. Maturity is the presence to feel everything without being destroyed by it. It's the courage to look at every emotion, even embrace one, even ugly ones, even the ones you never tell another soul, and say you belong. You are part of me. You have something to teach me. I won't kick you out because every feeling you exile becomes a ghost, and ghost runs your life from the shadows in ways you don't even realize. The grief you did not allow yourself to feel becomes a low hum of depression. Anger you would not let yourself express become reassessment that leaks out sideways. The fear you would not acknowledge becomes the cage you did not even know you are living inside. But the feeling you welcome, the one you sit with, breathe with, honor, Those becomes wisdom. They are become depth. They are becoming soft, knowing eyes of a person who has been underworld of their own heart and come back with treasure. The deepest soul you will ever meet are not the ones who avoided their feeling. They are the ones who walked straight through them, slowly, tenderly, without rushing, and come out the other side, not cold, no or hardened, but tender, compassionate, free. You can be one of those souls. You already are. You just have to stop realizing for the very thing that making you whole. I want to take a moment to acknowledge something. If you are struggle to validate your own feeling, it's not because you are weak, it's because you are so dramatic. It's not about because you are too sensitive. It's because something somewhere along with the way someone taught you doubt yourself. Maybe it was a presence who said stop caring or I will give you something to cry about. Maybe it will teacher who rolled their eyes at your tear. Maybe it was partner who called you too much. Every time you tried express what you needed. Maybe it was a culture, a religion, a community that told you a certain feelings made you bad, sinful, unworthy. When the people who were supposed to mine at your inner world dismissed instead, you had two choices. Continue trusting yourself and lose that, or stop trusting yourself and keep them. Most us, especially as children, made the choice to keep them. We had on other option, no other option basically. So we become expert at gaslighting ourselves before anyone else could do it to us. We become master at questioning. I overreacting. We become fluent in the language of dismissal towards our own heart. If this is you, please hear me. That coping strategy made a sensing fact that it's keep you safe, it keeps you connected to the people who needs there. No shame in having needed. Take a deep breath with me. But you are not a child anymore. You don't need to abandon yourself to survive. You can choose today, this very moment, to start being the witness. Your inner child never had the voice that says, of course, you feel this way. It makes sense, and even if it does not make sense yet, I'm not going to anywhere. I will sit here with you until it does, or until it does not matter that it does not. That's spiritual healing, not forcing yourself into peace, but finally, after all these years, becoming someone who refuses abandon to you. So, my dear friends, as we come to the end of this time together, I want you to take one more breath with me, a deep one, the kind that fills you way down, in and out. Now you hear these words slowly, like they are being whispered just to you, because they are. You are allowed to feel what you feel. You are allowed to feel it without justification. You are allowed to know, not know by why yet. You are allowed to be tender, confused, raw, exhausted, hopeful, terrified, full of love, full of grief, full of joy that surprised you, full of darkness that you do not yet have language for. You are allowed to be all of it. You are allowed to be a human. Your feelings are not too much. Your feelings are not the problem. Your feelings are not something to apologize for, hide, or shrink. Your feelings are scared. Your feelings are messengers. Your feelings are valid, even if they don't make sense yet, even if they never make sense. You are valid. You, the whole of you, parts of that shine and the parts that age, the parts that bloom and the parts that grieve, the parts that know and the parts that are still becoming, all of you welcome home. So, friends, if you are watching this all the way through, I want you to know something. You showed up today. You sat with yourself. You let your heart be touched, even when it would have been easier to scroll away. That matters more than you know. Whatever you are carrying right now, the f- the feelings you can't explain, the age, the want that want left, the joy you are afraid to trust. I see you, and the universe sees you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are exactly where you need to be. Even if the path is not clear yet, take a breath, place your hand, your heart, and the whisper to yourself, I am allowed to feel this, I am allowed to be here. That's enough for today. You are enough for today. Sending you so much love. If something in this movement touched a quiet place inside you, if even one sentence felt like it was written just for your soul tonight, then please gently do something kind for yourself. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the little bell. Not because I want a number to go up, but because I want to be here for you on the next quiet evening. When your heart is heavy, the next sleepless night, when you need a soft voice, the next morning when you wake up and don't quite know who you are yet. New messages of comfort, healing, and spiritual guidance arrives every week, like little candles waiting to be lit. When you need them most, subscribe, hit the bell, and let keep walking each other's home. Until next time, breathe deep, be tender with yourself. Remember, your feelings are valid, you are valid, and you are so deeply, deeply loved. So thank you, friends. Coming back with new video.